Hey, love. Welcome to No Matcha, No Mama, the podcast where we pour a little matcha and a whole lot of truth. Each week, I sit down with someone I admire, founders, healers, creatives, and friends, and we sip a matcha I've made just for them based on what they love. I like to do everything with intention, from the ingredients in your cup to the conversations that we have. And the show is more than just about talking. It's about exploring how we can truly thrive through all the mess and magic of being human. Here we start with matcha because how we start matters.
Yay.
Yay!
Hi.
Hi.
Thank
so
you
good
for
to see
having
you.
me. Yay.
Of course.
This looks beautiful.
So I'm going to make it for you. So today's guest is my friend Chloe Crampton. She's a private chef, a nutrition coach, a cancer survivor, and a health advocate for women going through cancer, which is really admirable. And your healing journey is just so inspiring to me. And I'm so honored that you took the time out of your day to chat with me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and have some matcha with you.
Yes. Okay. So I made you a strawberry matcha because I know that you like that.
I love. This is my love language right now.
So those are fresh from the farmer's market. I made sure to sweeten it with maple syrup, no refined sugar for you.
You're incredible. I already knew that you were going to do something. Wow.
So I am going to...
Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that. Stunning. And the milk is cashew. And you homemade this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Homemade.
No one ever does this for me. I have to do it for everyone else. So this is so nice. Thank you, my love.
It looks so pretty.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. Look at that. This is like better than Erewhon here.
Well, it's cheaper than Erewhon too.
100%. And this is something you can definitely prep for the week. The milk.
Yeah. I batch it actually almost like every couple of days.
Yeah.
I have an almond cow. I just buy coconut shreds and
Amazing.
cashews, and I have very specific ones that I buy. I can tell you later about them.
Yes, please.
And they make the creamiest milk.
Lovely.
And so, and then it stays good in the fridge.
Amazing. Do you sweeten it with like a date or something? No, not
Nothing.
even. That's so
I
good.
sweeten it later.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Should we have cheers?
Yes.
Oh,
we
wait, I have to do
cheers. Stir it.
Stir. Wow, look at that. Strawberries, it's just my favorite flavor.
Good. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Oh my actual God, that is so good. Wow.
Okay, good.
Wow. Thank you.
I've only made it one other time, and it was this morning for my husband. So,
and he was probably like, yes, this is incredible.
well, he helped me make it sweeter. So,
No, it's so lovely. Thank you.
okay, good. Of course.
Amazing. Magical.
Yes. So, matcha is obviously my ritual in the morning.
Yeah.
Every morning. It helps me stay grounded. So, I wanted to know if there's something that grounds you every morning. Is there a ritual that you do every morning?
Yeah, I mean, since my treatment, I have always started my day with a green juice every day. It's just kind of become a micro habit of mine.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm doing, even if I'm in a rush, and then I'll stop at Erewhon and grab one. But honestly, most of the time I make it myself.
Yeah.
And I have whatever I have in the fridge that's left over from the week, I pop it in. And even if it's like some broccoli stems and some dandelion greens, and kind of changes day to day. But that's just what I like to do every day. It makes me feel like I'm being productive towards my healing in some way.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really important,
Yeah.
right? It's all about how we feel.
Exactly. That's true.
So I wanted to take it back for a minute. So when you first started cooking, was there a dish that really made you feel something?
I think, I started cooking with my nonna. And you being Italian, you get this as well. But she's from northern Italy, and she would wake up in the morning and start making dinner for that night. She was really passionate about cooking and about good produce. And I think that rubbed off on me. And I would cook with her in the kitchen, and I would spend all day in the kitchen with her, and she would teach me how to make homemade marinaras from scratch, and pasta and gelato and bread and all the things.
Yeah.
And I think my love for cooking started at a really young age.
I love that.
And I think it just made me feel like I was feeding people and showing my love through food and nourishing them. And that's what kind of set up my culinary journey.
Was there one dish that kind of made you enlightened, or it was just cumulative of all of the time in the kitchen with her?
Yeah, I think cumulative. Okay. I mean, any of her pastas really, I think. But I always loved baking with her. And so I would bake something, and if it wasn't perfect, I would start again from scratch immediately. So I think my love started with baking and then progressed.
Was there any particular?
Maybe like a homemade like focaccia. Yeah.
Do you like to put anything on it or just basic?
Oh, no. Give me some rosemary, some sea salt, some, extra virgin olive oil. Yeah. Just simple, but yummy. And maybe a sun-dried tomato or something. Great. Yeah.
And especially, did she live in Italy or?
No. She lived in London. She moved from Italy to London when she was 19. Kind of like I moved to America from London when I was 19 as well.
Okay.
On my own.
Nice. That's early.
I know. I was like, bye.
Like, I'm out of here.
Peace. But yeah, I think, bread is like, I love a carb. I could give up anything sweet, but I can never
I was going to say,
bread.
do you have a sweet tooth?
No, not really. I love to bake for other people, but I don't actually, I always skip dessert. Like I don't need it.
Would you ever end a dish with like something savory as your dessert?
In England, we do. Yeah. We end with a cheese board, honestly, which is
lovely.
weird.
You start with one here, and in Italy you start with one, in France you start with one.
No, in England you end with one. You have a little. It's like you can have a dessert, or there's always a cheese board option with like a quince jelly and I don't know. Anyway, we're weird, but I like it.
Lovely. Food. How has your relationship with food evolved, especially since you became more popular on social media? And when did wellness start weaving into that story?
Well, I think I've always been really conscious about what I put in my body. Like growing up in the countryside in England, going to the local farm shops, being mindful about what I'm putting into my body has always sort of been there. Like organic food has always been really important to me.
Yeah.
But
same.
Yeah, I know. That's why we like really connect. But I think when I was diagnosed with everything, I started taking a look a bit harder at labels and realizing things that I thought were healthy because they said organic and all this. They're not always, there's still sugar in it and, random, horrible, nasty ingredients that I always say, like, if you don't know how to pronounce something or you don't know what something is, then your body doesn't either. So
I say the same thing.
Exactly. So I think I started really realizing that a lot of the things I was eating were actually detrimental to my health, and just really immersing myself in that, and then going on this nutrition coach journey to become a nutrition coach to sort of link up with already being a private chef. I thought it was such a good combo, and then being able to dive deeper into it all.
When did you get your nutrition coach certification?
That was 2022.
Okay, so recently.
Yeah, recent. Yeah. I mean, I was diagnosed in 2021, so.
Oh, it was after you got diagnosed? It was after I was diagnosed,
Oh,
interesting. Mm-hmm. That makes sense, though, because you were like, I want to know more about nutrition and make sure that I'm giving my body the right things. And
be able to help other people as well.
Yeah.
So it was.
I love that.
Yeah, it was an interesting journey, but I think it just all meshed well together.
Well, so your journey took an unexpected turn, a horrible turn that no one really anticipates or wants, for that matter.
No, not ideal.
No, awful. Can you take us back to that moment and what was going through your mind when you first found out?
Oh,
sorry if that gives you PTSD.
Like, literally, like my blood just ran cold.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Not my intention.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Your whole world comes crashing down, and you're just like, how could this be happening to me? Like, this isn't like, wait, what? Like, you're just so confused, and it feels like you're in a weird nightmare you can't get out of. And I think I was just worried does that mean I'm going to die? That's like your first thought. And like, I haven't done everything yet that I want to achieve, and I haven't been everywhere I want to go. And like all these things start flashing through your mind, and you just feel like this can't be real. But then it starts settling in, and you're just like, oh, wait, oh no, it is. And then you just become this little hamster on a wheel, just like going through the motions of everything and a million doctor's appointments. And so you kind of don't have time to think about it. I think you start really realizing what just happened to you after treatment. And then it starts settling in. You're just like, what was that? Yeah,
because you're kind of just in like go mode. You're like, I need to deal with this. I need to save my life.
Yes, exactly. It's like fight or flight, really. So honestly, it felt like this weird dream I was in. I was honestly a bit of a mess. Like, I'm usually quite strong in situations, but luckily I had my husband and my mother-in-law with me, and I couldn't even put myself together to like call my parents and tell them. So I had my husband do it.
Well, it's hard.
Like, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin right now. I was honestly such a mess. So.
Right. Because then you're also having to like coach them through that and hold them in that moment when you can't even hold yourself.
Exactly. I was like, I don't want to have to try and be strong for someone else right now.
No.
I don't have it in me. So I had him be the strong one. Thank God he was able to do that for me because I was definitely a mess.
Having your little community here.
Yes. No, I mean, honestly, like all our friends grouped together and were so incredible. And it was COVID still. So my family couldn't even come into the country, because America had the restrictions for everyone. So it really was just like friends showing up and everyone was so supportive. And I'll never forget that for sure. So I'm very grateful. Yeah.
Well, I'm grateful that you're still with us.
Yeah,
because
same.
That would have been not so great of a story.
It would have been terrible.
But was there anything during treatment that completely caught you off guard? Something no one warned you about that they wish that you wish they had?
I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
maybe
everything.
name a couple things.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think
maybe not just one.
Yeah, I know. I think that I don't think you're really prepared for any of it, and then it just all gets thrown at you. But I think a couple of things is, I would say my oncologist, I'm someone that needs to know everything, every possible scenario of like what could happen to me symptomatic, like with my symptoms and everything.
Nothing's a surprise.
Nothing's a surprise. I want to know that I might get this weird thing so that I can deal with it. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not dying. It's just part of it and it's fine. And I feel like I didn't always get that. And so there were moments where I was like messaging her at night, like, do I need to go to the ER? Am I dying? Am I going to be okay? And so that I wish that I'd been prepared more on like the possible symptoms that I would be getting from treatment. So I wasn't so stressed all the time. And I could just be like, okay, this is just, you have to go through this, but I'm going to be fine and I can get through it. So that would have taken out some anxiety. And then I think I didn't realize I was going to be such a snappy bitch through it as well, because they put you on all these like steroids.
Yeah.
And you just kind of feel not yourself. And you're also put into forced menopause suddenly, with this injection that they give you every month. And so your hormones are just like, wow, like crazy. So that was also just not prepared for that. And then I think the impact it has on your relationship and with your husband, with your friends, like suddenly you feel like different from everyone else and you feel like you can't really relate to anyone in a way because you're just like, it feels like such a solo experience, but actually it's not. They're going through it with you, but
they're not actually because they're not the one experiencing the illness.
Exactly.
In their body, right?
But you also have to try and think about them because it's a lot for them to go through as well with you. But then you're also just trying to think about yourself and like everything that you have to get through when you're in survival mode. So sometimes it's hard to remember that they're also going through it with you and the impact that has on them as well as you,
Yeah. I mean, I obviously haven't been through it, but my mom died of glioblastoma in 2021. Yeah. And it also felt like a bad dream, like a whirlwind. And I look back on it and I was like, wow, that was really awful. And I'm really sad. But like, we're like, when I was going through it, we're also experiencing all the same things that you are. We're just not experiencing the symptoms.
Yeah. I know.
It's terrible.
It was terrible. I know. I'm so sorry. I cooked for your mom.
Yeah.
And she was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that. But it's just like cancer is evil and it does not discriminate, it's just crazy. So, but yeah, I think it's really hard on everyone else around you and it's hard to like see that when you're in it as well and like kind of give them grace as well, you know?
But it's hard when you're actually going through it too. So it's...
Yeah, it is so hard.
Everybody gets some grace.
Yes, I think
Everybody deserves some.
I think so. And I think also like for me, I've always been very sort of independent and tough and kind of strong in situations. And then for like my husband to see me not be that way and managing everything and taking care of everything, I think that's like hard on him as well to be like, oh wait, I have to
do it now,
be the caretaker in this situation. I have to be like the strong one now. And I've always been so sort of independent that he's never had to worry about me, and suddenly he had to worry about me a lot. And we'd only just been married for a year, so it was really hard on him as well. So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So what's something that cracked you open in a way you didn't expect?
During treatment?
Yeah.
I think maybe I was part of all these cancer groups because I was trying to find some solace through it all. And I feel like I didn't end up finding that. I found a lot of, because my kind of breast cancer was like this very aggressive kind that has less treatment options, that is, tends to come back, and people don't do that well with it. And so I was part of these cancer groups for triple negative breast cancer. And some of them, it was coming back and they were dying. And I was like, I just can't.
Right.
I had to step back from it all because it was really messing with my.
It made you more fearful.
It made me so much more fearful. And I was just like, I don't know how am I going to reach that 3-year mark or that 4-year mark or that 5-year mark, I was like, it sounds like it's just going to come back and this is just my fate, And I think I really then decided I wanted to be that for someone else, and I was going to survive, and I was going to show everyone that you can thrive afterwards and live life afterwards and do all the things again and be strong and healthy and heal your body. And I think that being in this really, really low, dark place where I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, like then took me to where I am now, where I wanted to try and show that you can get through it for others.
Yeah.
And
are you 4 years out now?
Yeah.
You just celebrated that.
Cheers to
you.
Yes. Cheers. Cheers. I know. I'm so happy. So that really was a big celebration the other day.
I'm sure. It's a big one.
Yeah. No, I mean, so 3 years is the main mark with triple negative, because they say in the first 3 years, if it hasn't come back, then your chances of it coming back go down drastically. But then at 5 years, you're likely cured, because it is so aggressive, and it doesn't tend to come back in your breast. If it comes back, it can come back in your brain,
somewhere
your
else.
liver, lung, or bones.
Oh my God.
Nice and depressing. So I'm just like constantly having scans and constantly doing all the things. So it felt really, really good to get to that mark that I didn't know I was going to get to.
At 5 years, do you have to do less scans?
It just goes down to once a year right
that
now.
Must be.
Yeah, it's a lot
you're
more.
going to get there.
Yeah.
And then it'll be so relieving to not have to do it so many, because I'm sure you get super nervous before and after scans, because you're like, what's going on?
Scan anxiety? Yeah, is real. It's very real.
I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be nice. So I'm almost there.
So for someone who's just starting their healing journey and going through something major, how did cancer shift your relationship with your body? And were there old stories and identities that you had to let go of?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to learn how to try and trust your body again, because it let you down so badly, I don't know if you ever fully can. So I think your relationship with your body is kind of a difficult one, because you're just like, I don't know if I trust you to do your job and like kill those cancer cells,
Yeah.
But you just sort of do prioritize what you're putting into it a lot more, and think about how you treat it, and what you put on it, in it, and, around it. And just really treat it like a temple a lot more, because you realize you only get one this life. And so not abusing it. I feel like when you're young and you're just like, oh yeah, I'll, have this extra glass of wine, or, have like whatever. And you just don't realize what it's actually doing to you,
You're not aware. You
like
live in this bubble where like, I'm just going to party and do all the things.
Yes. Yeah. And then you realize you're really not at all.
No.
And then when something major goes wrong, you're just like, wow, I need to take care of myself. And this is it. We only get one life. So I think that really shifted my relationship with my body for sure. And what was the other question?
Oh,
the second part.
The second part was, were there old stories or identities that you had to let go of?
I think, I've been through a lot of like weird traumas in my life, I think. And I think that stress and trauma has an impact on your cells. Honestly, I feel like we store it in our cells. And I think that probably did have a part to play in my diagnosis, maybe. I don't know for sure, but I think that it all kind of has a role to play, whether it's just that or, DNA or whatever it is. I mean, I didn't have any genetic disposition. So I'm always just trying to think, what was it, But you can't blame yourself at the end of the day. And I think I had to go back and heal past childhood traumas that I had to let go of a little bit to move forward and heal and be the best version of myself I can be.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to do a lot of trauma healing from childhood because we store so much in our bodies that we're unaware of. And when you get triggered, it's generally because there's something stored that is making you feel that way. And
absolutely.
But a lot of people they don't want to take the time. And,
no. I mean,
but it's important.
We're all rushing around in our lives, and then something happens that makes you stop, and you just have to think okay, what can I do to help aid my body heal on every level, whether that's, emotionally, physically, all the things. So I think I tried to do that as well, which helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when everything felt overwhelming, what helped you stay connected to yourself?
I really threw myself into nutrition. And I think that really helped me, what I was putting in my body. I feel like cancer makes you really out of control. And the one thing you can control during it all is what you put inside it.
So on it.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So I really felt like focusing on that in some way I was helping myself, which I really do believe I was, And I think that really helped me have a purpose through it all. And I was developing recipes when I was feeling well and making myself healthy snacks and healthy foods that were nourishing my body that I felt like I was being productive in some way. So I think that really helped me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, when you're feeling out of control, when you can focus on something that you love and that inspires you and that makes you feel good, you just want to put all your energy into that so it makes you kind of forget about what you're actually going through.
Yes. I'm definitely a person, being British as well. I'm not I'm not letting go of my emotions out all the time. I have to put it in a little box and then try and focus on something else. But it worked for me to power through it all, I think.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I did after treatment. I was like, whoa, I need to unpack.
Take a second.
What just happened?
People throw out the word strong a lot, but in real life, what did strength look like for you? And would you redefine it differently now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's a hard phrase when everyone's like, you're so strong. And I'm like, I mean, sure, but so would you be if you're faced with that as your only option, There is no other choice. It's the be strong and go through it all or death, There's not really that much to choose from. So I think, yes, of course, there's different ways you can handle it. You can go and, cry in a dark room, or you can get up and deal with it and move forward every day and try and do the best we can to power through and be positive. I really do believe that a lot of it is mindset, as well. But I definitely had those days where I was in the dark room crying. But I think that's when you have someone that comes in and they're like, right, get up, open the blinds, let's go for a walk, or something. And I'm grateful for having those people in my life that helped me through that. But yeah, I think strength is when you have no other option, it's crazy how strong you can be. And you will surprise yourself as well. And I know a lot of cancer patients will relate to that as well, because you're just when you first get diagnosed, you're like, oh no,
I can't possibly go through that.
I remember I was like, well, no, I can't do chemo. I'm not doing that. I don't want to face any of this, I was like, no, I'm fine. I was just so in denial. And then they were like, no, you will die if you don't do this. And I was like, okay.
Oh my
okay.
God.
All right. Okay. I have to do this. So walking into that room takes so much courage. It's unreal. And they're like, oh, so by the way, if you feel this when the chemo first goes in, it's probably anaphylaxis. So let us know.
Great. Thanks.
So we'll run in and save your life. And I'm like, okay. Just
Put it in me.
Great.
Oh my gosh.
They're just like, so I mean, this may burn your veins and all this. And you're just like, great, okay. So the amount of strength it takes to do that is a lot. And I felt like I had to be majorly drugged with Klonopin most of it to be able
Well, whatever you have to do to get through it.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. You have to laugh at some point because I mean, it's just like so wild.
Well, you're here with us, so it's...
And I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a small ritual or comfort that made a big difference? Something you'd pass on to someone in the thick of it now?
I mean, I think going for my walks was really nice. I did get to a point through chemo where I couldn't even do that, which was really depressing. I couldn't walk around the block or up a flight of stairs without being able to I literally was like couldn't
super winded.
Breathe, and I was so weak. But I loved going out for my daily walks. I think in between the chemo sessions, even though it was COVID and we all had to be very careful because of your white blood count in between, I did still go out for dinners with friends, even if we sat outside or went over to a friend's house and sat outside and just kind of try to feel a bit normal in between and do what I love and cook and things. But I think finding something that, like my green juice every day, that is just like this little micro habit that makes you feel like you're being productive is great. Whether that's like prepping your food for the week because you feel like, okay, this is my chemo week next week. And so I'm going to make Chloe's miracle broth. I'm going to make some recipes, some healthy recipes. I think that would really, really good for them to be able to feel like they're being productive towards their healing and having little habits that make them feel distracted from it all.
Human again.
Human again. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Very important. I need some more matcha.
Drink your matcha. So you've just shared so beautifully about what supported you through treatment. I'd love to explore the role that food played. We kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
But how did your intuition around food shift while your body was going through so much?
Well, it's hard because obviously when you're not feeling great, like you feel a bit nauseous from chemo and everything and you have no energy, you're just sort of like, you want really bland foods. So I tried to think how I can get as many nutrients into my day, even if I only want a smoothie or some broth, So that's where like miracle broth came into it,
Yeah.
So I was making these broths that I would keep in the freezer or in the fridge. And then I would put as many nutritious things into it, like the mushrooms and the kombu and the turmeric and the ginger for inflammation. I know you can't have too much turmeric during treatment because it is such a powerful antioxidant that it can counteract chemo.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you can't have grapefruit either because that's like also could counteract the chemo. Anyway, there's lots of rules and things, but I felt like trying to at least have these also my mother-in-law made me her amazing chicken soup, like chicken and rice. Or chicken noodle. I forget if she did. I think she did a mixture of the two. But, Jewish moms know how to make chicken soup. And it was so good. I don't think I could actually eat ever again now because I ate it so much during my treatment and it was amazing and it saved me. But I think I do genuinely think it's like Jewish penicillin. So
that's what they say.
Yeah, and like kind of like Italian penicillin as well.
Pastina.
My nonna used to make that for me all the time.
Love
but
it.
My mother-in-law did the Jewish version, and it was amazing. And then I would put stuff into my smoothies, as I'm sure you do daily anyway. Like I had the mushroom powders, and the lots of different magical powders and seeds and all the things, so that even if I was just having a smoothie and that's all I could manage,
it was packed with...
Exactly. Yeah.
So was there a meal or ingredient that you kept coming back to, something that grounded you or brought comfort?
The chicken soup.
The chicken soup. Yeah, I just asked you that question.
I think the chicken soup. Yeah, I think the chicken soup for sure. And I mean, I also developed this anti-inflammatory curry recipe during my treatment that is chickpeas, cauliflower, coconut milk, turmeric, like fresh turmeric, ginger, spinach, and I would just eat that. Like it was really nice and simple. So simple. Or sometimes I'd use lentils instead or something. I was very into being like not fully plant-based, but I always incorporated plant-based throughout my treatment, you know, like a mix of like a little, only chicken if it was organic, obviously. And like I would never eat it out at a restaurant because I'd be too nervous. I think I went too crazy for a minute where I was just like, I mean, I think you have to at the beginning.
But you were trying to control, right?
Yeah.
You felt out of control. That was your way.
Yeah.
And you were doing it in a way that was, you wanted to just put everything good into your body. So I wouldn't knock yourself for that.
Yeah. I know. I think, I think that was a really yummy one that I love to have in the fridge as well. I mean, I still make it all the time. It's great.
So you didn't get sick of that one?
No, I actually didn't. I mean, I didn't eat it to the point where I felt like I was sick of it. Or I didn't eat it on the days where I was sick from chemo. That's when I had the soup and the broth.
That's why you have a bad association with that one.
Yeah, and the Simple Mills crackers. Sorry, Simple Mills. I want to work with you, I promise.
Please sponsor us.
But no, I can't eat those plain crackers ever again. Oh my God.
Can you eat the flavored ones?
And I haven't tried.
Have you tried the graham crackers?
Yes.
Those are really
God,
good. I love those.
Have
you tried the lemon ones?
Oh, with the lemon, yes. Oh, they're so good. Yeah.
So
Simple Mills,
good.
see, we love you.
We love you.
They are amazing, yeah.
So, in your experience, is there a difference between what's marketed as clean eating and what actually fosters and supports deep healing?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, 100%. I feel like that's marketed all the time as like, this is healthy, that's healthy, and it's actually not at all. Or it has like, you know, a monk fruit and stevia and all the like things like blended into that actually aren't great for you. You know, I avoid refined sugars. And when I bake, I use coconut sugar or maple syrup, but I still stay clear of any of the sweetener. You know, I just do natural stuff like honey and maple syrup because I just, I feel like they're still not ideal for you, you know? But there's so many things, you know, you look at the front of packets of ingredient, you know, on things at the grocery store. It's always better to just make things yourself. Like I literally posted a homemade paleo granola recipe yesterday because you go to a grocery store and the granolas are like organic and but then the dried fruit is like sulfured and the oats are sprayed and it's like anything processed is never going to be good for you, you know, at the end of the day. And it's always better to make it yourself if you can, like your yummy milk that we're drinking right now, you know? I mean, all the almond milks and the oat milks and everything that are you know, the gums and the oils in them, you just have to be so careful. And you know, that's it, they look like they're healthy from the front, but you just have to read the ingredient packet and realize, you know, what they're actually putting into it. And I know not everyone has time to make everything from scratch, but I mean,
even just eating more whole foods instead of processed foods. Like the majority of your diet should be stuff that grows.
Exactly. And like day to day doing that, you know, but then the odd cheat, you know, keeping your basics to really
80-20.
super clean. 80-20, that's literally like what I preach. I mean, I think that's something that developed over time as I've gone further out from treatment because at the beginning I was like 100.
You need to live your life.
And then now I'm like, I want to go out for dinner. I want to have a little burrata. You know? Yeah. You know, you've got to enjoy yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah. This life is about enjoying and being happy and loving and feeling good, right? So if there are certain things that make you feel good every once in a while, it's not going to kill you.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm saying we as like other cancer patients that might listen to this didn't fight this hard to not also enjoy yourselves.
We can't be so rigid because the rigidity can also make you even more stressed.
More stressed, and then that just creates disease at the end of the day.
Anxiety.
And anxiety. Yeah, it's just not good for you. So
yeah.
Burrata it is.
Eat that burrata, girl.
Yes.
Every once in a while, eat it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's so important for people to see that you can make it through treatment and really thrive. It's possible. It's not easy, but it doesn't always have to look so grim and hard. Mm-hmm. What does thriving look and feel like to you now?
I mean, traveling, doing what I love still, and being able to help other people and impart that knowledge of things that I went through onto others, you know, like how to navigate it, things to eat that will nourish your body. Like everything that I do every day genuinely makes me happy. And then that contributes to my thriving.
Yeah.
Meeting other people that have been on the same journey and connecting with them. And, just my dogs, my doggies, they make me very happy every day. And, just like living life again and just back to normal, the new normal, and learning about your new self. It's like hard. You have to grieve that old version of yourself.
Yeah, you birthed somebody new.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I feel like a different, not a completely different person, but, pretty different.
I mean, that's allowed. I feel like after I've had 2 babies, after I've had 1, I feel like a different person. And after 2, I feel like an even different person. I mean,
I'm sure.
I've shifted into a different space.
Yes, yeah.
So
it's like a different chapter of your life, like before cancer, after cancer. And you're just like, okay.
I think that's so beautiful, though.
Yeah, it is. And I love this version of me. And I'm really proud of this version of me, at the end of the day. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
You're, I'm sure, inspiring to so many people.
I mean, I don't know about that, but
yes. I think we already touched on my next question, which is, what does eating well look like to you now?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's the
same.
80-20, like all the things.
Yeah.
Anti-inflammatory diet, but also having some pasta.
We have to have the pasta.
I've got to have pasta.
I have to have it too. It's gluten-free, but I still have to have pasta.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't have to always be like the real stuff. I mean, it can also be the real stuff if you're using unbleached, organic all-purpose flour and whatnot. If you can eat gluten, you can't eat gluten. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See,
I know it's a shame because I'm Italian.
Yeah, I know. When you go to Italy, though, can you? Still not?
I don't feel great.
Really?
When I eat it. I'll have like a couple bites, but I know that there's a difference between the way that flour is processed there and the way that it's processed here.
Yeah.
But for some reason, my body just doesn't like it. I actually get more fatigued when I eat it.
Interesting. Oh, you just probably have a wheat intolerance.
It's just an intolerance.
I'm a dairy intolerant. I lactose intolerant for sure. Like, does not agree with me no matter where I am in the world. Like, it could be the best.
Well, it's dairy.
Yeah, I still do it to myself sometimes because it's worth it. Only with cheese. Cheese is life. But
do you do better with like a hard cheese?
Yeah, like an aged Parmesan. I'm totally fine.
Well, because I think the dairy is mostly removed from Parmesan anyways.
There's no lactose really left in it. So, yeah, like an really aged English cheddar. So good.
So is there a wellness rule or mindset that you let go of after treatment that kind of made you feel more like yourself?
After treatment?
Yeah, like one that you had during treatment maybe that no longer served you after.
I mean, I think being too hard on myself.
Too rigid, yeah.
Too rigid, yeah. I realized that I have to also enjoy life as well. And it's not all like, I was getting really stressed when I went out to eat, or like I felt like I was making myself sick with worry. Like, oh God, what about this? What about that? But then I realized, as we were saying, like, I feel like it's not going to kill you once here and there. You know what I mean? I mean, I still don't ever do sugar really. I mean, a bite if someone like makes me, or like, I just had a piece of key lime pie. I mean, I had one bite of a key lime pie on my 4-year cancerversary because we went out to this restaurant and they brought it out. And I was like, that was delicious, but that's it, I'm just having one bite. But I think just being too rigid on myself and then realizing that I needed to relax a little bit and kind of, as long as I'm doing my things every day, eating my anti-inflammatory diet, there's room for a little cheat here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
What's your favorite recipe that you're cooking right now?
Ooh. Well, I just developed this Tuscan roasted chicken recipe, which I'm loving. It kind of brings me back to cooking in the kitchen with my nonna. And it's like white beans and, artichokes and lemon and shallots and all the yummy things, rosemary, tomatoes, and then roasted in the oven with the chicken on top. And just like all the flavors are so good. But it's like, because I feel like a roast chicken is quite a wintry dish, but it feels more summery because of all the flavors in it.
Yeah.
So I've been really enjoying that often.
Great.
And I usually never eat red meat. Like I've always never really like been a huge meat girl anyway. I was pescatarian for 10 years. But I've been introducing a little bit of grass-fed organic very high quality beef here and there, and just occasionally, like maybe once every couple of months. And I think my body actually needed it, you know? So it's, I can now listen to my body and intuitively know what it needs day to day. I'm like, okay, today is a plant-based day. I'm just going to do my plant-based, you know, like whatever. And then, but tomorrow I might fancy some chicken, or I might have, you know, a great grass-fed steak.
I think that's so important, listening to our bodies. And it's interesting because for me, if I'm craving something, like if I'm craving red meat, I probably need that iron.
The iron,
all the other nutrients that are in that. And so when something sounds good, and I'm not talking about like unhealthy food, because that's not for those of you thinking that. Like if I'm craving like French fries, I don't think that my body needs
No, exactly.
But if I'm craving certain whole foods that are good for me, I'm probably deficient of it. Because I think at a certain point, once we figure out what our body likes and you're aware, you're going to start being like, oh, I could use some of this. And
absolutely. You start being able to read yourself.
Yeah.
Once you start like really tapping into that. And I think that's what I got really good at doing. I was not good at that before at all. I was like, you know, a private chef, and I'm working 6 days a week, 14 hours a day. And I just like will stand over the sink eating like, I don't know, some random leftovers, you know?
Yeah.
And then running out to run a million errands and then come back and cook for 20 people, you know? So I was never prioritizing myself and listening to my body and what it needed. And I think that cancer really made me slow down and be able to be in touch with how I'm feeling.
It woke you up.
Yeah, it totally woke me up. Yeah, totally.
Everybody has to have that moment. Sometimes it's more intense for people than others.
Yeah, I could have done without it. But
yeah, there could have been something else that woke you up.
Yeah, it would have been just like a little gentle nudge instead of like an explosion.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So for anybody listening who's going through it right now, would there be something that you would want them to hear heart to heart?
Oh, I think there's something I always say to people is don't Google, because don't Google your prognosis.
Or ChatGPT.
No, don't ChatGPT anything. Yeah, because it's always going to give you considerations that you didn't need to stress about. And you're not a statistic, because I felt like every time I went to my oncologist, it was like, well, you know, if you do this chemo, then you'll have a 90% chance of blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you don't do it, then you have like a 30% chance of looking. Or like, you know, I just hated hearing statistics. It was really annoying.
It made you feel like one. It didn't make you feel like a human.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not me. That's not going to happen to me. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to do this and I'm going to be good, you know? And I think just shutting out the noise of all that is important, and just focusing on what you're doing and not what everyone else is doing. And that's why I like left some cancer groups and things, and I had to just like kind of just do me for a while. And then also just advocating for yourself. Speaking of oncologists, like I was so annoying. Be annoying. Ask all the questions, you know, like go back and have a list and record your conversations with your doctor, because you're always going to forget something when you're in the height of it all. And, you know, I remember I went to one oncologist and she was like, oh, there's this new thing called Signatera, which would be really good for you because of triple negative breast cancer. You know, it'll be good to monitor you after treatment. And then I went to another oncologist and they were like, no, we don't know how to use that information, so I don't want to do that. And I was like, what? I ended up going with an oncologist that was supportive of it, but I went home and I signed myself up to Signatera, you know? And now I still, to this day, get this circulating blood DNA test every 3 months. That is amazing for monitoring like the possibility of a recurrence on a cellular level before it even develops into a tumor or anything.
That's great.
So it's such a great thing to have. And, you know, some oncologists, I always get a second and third opinion, because some doctors just don't, I don't know, they don't always like use their common sense, you know, like, and you know yourself, and no one really cares more about you than you, other than your kids, you know. But like I don't have kids, obviously, so you know, no one really cares more about you than you, and you have to advocate for yourself.
Fight for yourself.
And fight for yourself.
No one else is going to ask those questions for you.
Don't be like, oh, but I don't want to come across as like, no.
You got to stay curious.
Yes.
And really try to figure out
what's best for you. It's your body at the end of the day. And you know, my oncologist was like, you have to do this the most crazy chemo and do all the like biggest, all these crazy things. And I was like, I just don't know if they were like, oh yeah, you might get leukemia afterwards and you might get this and you might get that. And I was like, that sounds terrible. Like, how am I supposed to live and thrive afterwards, And so I was like, what's the other options for me? What other chemos could I do? And they're like, well, there's this other one, but like, there's like a 2% difference in 5 years survival rate. And I'm like, but you don't have to get a port and you won't do that. You won't have to do that. And I was like, okay, great, let's do that one, And it was amazing. And now they use the kind of chemo as standard of care for my kind of breast cancer. So I'm glad that I went with that one. So
it's shifted.
Yes,
that's great.
Yeah. In the last 4 years, it's shifted to everyone's doing the kind of chemos that the 2 different drugs that I did instead of the adriamycin Red Devil one for my kind of breast cancer. So I think it's a lot of different new research is coming out for triple negative. And I didn't get to do immunotherapy, but it was just kind of new when I was first diagnosed. But now it's also the standard of care for my kind of breast cancer. So I think there's lots of new exciting things coming out.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I had a question and I forgot what I was going to ask.
Oh, no. I was talking about, what were we talking about? I forget as well.
Your chemo. It's okay.
Yeah. Did your mom did all the chemos and everything?
She did.
Yeah.
She did some immunotherapy.
Yeah.
There's no good treatment for glioblastoma.
No.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's so aggressive and it's in the brain, so things don't really pass the blood-brain barrier. No. And she did certain immunotherapies that worked.
Yeah.
Like ones that she did like IVs combined with chemotherapies. Mm-hmm. They did combinations.
Yeah.
And some of them made the tumors, shrink significantly, but then they would just grow back at like an astronomical rate. Awful. So it's not like they didn't just make them go away.
Yeah.
So ultimately she ended up having 2 brain surgeries to remove the tumors, but nothing really saved her. It was like 15 months of whirlwind where I was taking her to appointments and sitting with her during the IVs and watching her just degrade. It's terrible.
I know that is the thing, and I think
chemo almost makes you sicker, and sometimes when it can't save your life.
It does make you sicker to then hopefully ultimately get better. I guess. I mean, obviously it doesn't work in all cases, but some cases it can. It does, and it did for me, and I'm grateful I did it. But I definitely was. I was like a total shadow of my former self. I told you I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs. Like, it was bizarre. I felt like a weird, I don't know. I felt like a cancer patient for sure. I didn't ever really want to look like a cancer patient. So I like cold capped and I did all my things. And that also gave me purpose, I would say.
Right.
The cold capping, like I was like, I'm not going to lose my hair. I want to look like myself in the mirror.
Right.
And so that gave me, I was crazy about my hair. I was like treating it like glass.
Yeah. My mom lost all hers.
Yeah.
And that was heartbreaking for her.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just part of you as a woman. I mean, I know some women don't. I mean, everyone has different priorities. I just think that for me was one, just so I felt like I looked like myself. Weirdly, I feel like it was hard because I looked okay to people. I still looked kind of okay, looked like myself, but I didn't feel like myself at all. And I felt so ill, but I didn't really look like a cancer patient. So it was hard to kind of communicate that to people in your life sometimes, in a weird way. Obviously not as hard as actually losing your hair and like all the things, but it was kind of weirdly hard as well. But yeah, here we are.
All right, we'll stop talking about the cancer because I don't want it to completely depress you.
No, it's good. When you're like, I feel like when you're healed, you can talk about it and it feels like a different person or a past version of yourself.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I'm just grateful that you shared everything, and I think it'll really help people who are also going through it. But before we wrap, I wanted to ask you a few questions and reflect. But is there something that you're working on that's special right now?
Yes, I am currently working on a cookbook.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's going to highlight a lot of different anti-inflammatory recipes, but also the 80-20 rule that we discussed and having a few naughtier versions of recipes in there because that's important, but also using ingredients with integrity and high quality and everything. So that's something I'm working on. I'm really excited about. It's been like a lifelong dream. I've always had little recipe books as a child that I would write my recipes in.
Cute.
So now I get to actually have one, which will be really exciting.
Do you know when it's going to come out, or is it still far away?
No details yet. I'm in the midst of stuff right now. So it will probably be another year and a half or so, I would think.
Takes a long time.
It does take a long time, especially when you write it yourself. And I'm still running a business. And
yeah, you have other things that you're doing.
It's a lot. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
So, okay, now a couple questions to close. Mm-hmm. If you could go back, what's one thing you would tell your younger self?
I think, that's a heavy one because I feel like I've been through lots of different chapters in my life, and I was an actress for a really long time, and that was everything to me. And I feel like maybe I would go back and tell my younger self that you will find your other passion and everything's going to be okay in the end, and you will go through very hard times. But you can always rely on yourself, and you are strong enough to get through it and not doubt yourself in those moments, and that you'll always figure it out in the end.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And is there something, looking ahead, is there something that you're doing now that you hope that your future self will thank you for?
I think everything I'm doing right now is just focusing on myself and my healing and my career and all the things that make me happy. And I think that my future self will be grateful that I really prioritize my healing and nutrition and threw myself into all of this, and also try to help other people because it's so rewarding at the end of the day to try and help others. And, throwing these events to bring community together during, Breast Cancer Awareness Month and all these different things, that I try and do. I think that's all for the greater good in the end and trying to help life and people. But I think just taking care of my body and movement and all the things, and also skincare and clean beauty swaps. And we talk about that a lot. I feel like you've actually given me some tips when I was first kind of starting with the beauty swaps, about 2 years ago. I remember when we would talk and you'd be like, oh no, that's bad, or that candle's bad, or that's that. Helped you. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
I actually have a great candle spot at the Brentwood Farmers Market. There's this lovely lady.
Yeah.
I'll send you her information.
Please, because I go there.
I'm forgetting it right now. But it's amazing.
Amazing.
And they're super clean.
I love that.
She makes them herself.
My tummy just rumbled. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to pick up on that.
It didn't pick up? Okay, good. No. Okay, we're good.
No.
That sounds great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So may we carry what we need, release what we don't, and stay open to the magic that is still unfolding. Thank you for sipping your matcha and sharing your heart with me.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. This was welcome. Lovely. And you're doing such an important job as well, by the way.
Thank you.
Educating people. And
that's what I want to do. That's why I started doing this.
Yeah. And also matcha is really good for you, so everyone should
drink it. It is. I love Peak Tea.
Yes. Yep. Sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dina. You're amazing.
Yes. Thank you for listening to No Matcha, No Mama. If you loved the episode, share with a friend, leave a review, or come say hi on Instagram. My handle is @DinaDL. If you would like to connect with my guest, Chloe, the lovely Chloe, you can check her out at Chloe's Kitchen on Instagram, or she has a Substack, which is also Chloe's Kitchen. And remember, thriving takes intention. See you next time.